I gotta get faster at this. And coming to you live from an old woman's house on a hill where the prodigal son has moved out, and Coach Teeth is paying for a Tulsa apartment now. And Creston is back with us. It's Sports Allegedly, DG.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this episode of Sports Allegedly on this day, 16th of October, 2023. Creston, to my right, good to have you back. And Sean, can't stand you anyway. Thanks.
That's bullshit.
And phone to his left.
And phone to my left. Thanks for joining us again for this episode. What do you guys want to talk about first?
I'm really hurt that you said that you can't stand me.
Oh, whatever.
I want to talk about that. I want to talk about our feelings.
Let's not, because that's even more boring than our football talk. All right. What do we talk about?
Let's. You want to just run through the MLB real quick?
Yeah, let's talk about. Let's talk about MLB. Let's open with that. We'll make it brief. Because the World Series is so close, close.
All of our teams knocked out, and my team helped knock both of your teams out. So that was.
Well, I think I was knocked out before that, but
no. My team.
But hey, glad to see the Cubs on it. That's that's definitely yes. That's definitely my goal of the MLB season is the Indians to win the World Series and the Cubs to not make the playoffs.
My surprise is Phillies and Rangers.
Well, and could it be that we could say that we saw the Texas Rangers the year they won?
Yeah.
You know,
we went. Was that Toronto they were playing?
Yeah, they played Toronto, went down like 5 or 6-0, and then like methodically just came back and killed them.
So the Rangers go into Baltimore, which Baltimore was one of the top teams this season. And what did they take? Was it 4-1?
No, swept. It was 3-0 on that one.
No, were they 3 or that?
Yeah, it was 3-0. Rangers hadn't lost the game in the playoffs yet.
Ooh, really?
They're undefeated.
It's like that White Sox team that
they're undefeated.
Won the title that year.
And one tonight, me and Creston actually watched the end of this one. Tonight, they won 5-4. Phillies in with the surprise Diamondbacks. Phillies, they play a good, gritty ball. Diamondbacks, young team. We talked about it a little bit last week. Currently 5-3, middle of the 7th. So that one's not over. But I do feel the Phillies have the advantage. And the Rangers took 2 games in Houston. Now we go back to Texas, to Arlington. Now it's a 2-3-2. So that's 3 games in Arlington.
Are they doing that again?
They're back to that. Yeah, so it's 2-3-2. Well, according to what I read today, I hope that's right. I thought they switched back too, but yeah. I was listening to a local sports podcast.
NBA, NHL, MLB constantly changing their playoff format.
I understand getting away from the 1-1-1 because of travel, but I also think the 2-3-2 gives a very good advantage to the team that shouldn't have home field advantage. They win 1 of the first 2, then they've got the next 3 at home, so it gives an.
And you force the team that does have home field advantage to win away and bring it back.
So no, good for a lot of local fans around here for Rangers baseball. We saw them in June, and we thought they looked good. They've had a lot of young, but I mean, to be honest, what's changed that team is Bruce Bochy, Hall of Fame manager, won multiple World Series with the Giants. I think he's already a Hall of Famer as a player, as a catcher.
Yes.
And so the next 3 games are the 18th, 19th, and 20th. Rangers at the Rangers.
So they got a day off and
then they go 18, 19, all in a row. So good for baseball. It's perfect. It's the best time to watch baseball because it's midweek, not a lot of football going on, and it's playoff time. So it just means more. Unfortunately, the one thing I hate about the Rangers is that Chapman guy's your pitcher. Anyway, former Cubs guy.
I'm not saying a word because you two just going to team up on me. Anything I say?
No, never. We would never do that. But yeah, Philly's really one of the surprise teams. I would say Arizona is the surprise team, but the Phillies taking out Atlanta, and all my Deep South friends are just very withdrawn and hurt and not understanding how the Braves can have a 101 win season and Blow it.
Braves,
The second
Orioles, and Dodgers, I think all had 100-win
100-win
seasons. And I think they won 1 or 2 games in the whole playoffs. So there was a stat I was trying to look
No,
for it
because
actually.
if the Rangers played the Orioles, then they didn't win any, did they?
No, I meant in the regular season.
Oh, in the regular
season. Yeah, no, I was talking like 3 or 4 teams that got ousted already. Only one, I know the Braves won 1 game in the playoffs. One, and then I think there was maybe one other one, but there was 3 or 4 teams in there that had won over 100 games in the regular season, and they talked about the week off maybe hurt them. I mean, it's baseball. I mean, those guys can play back to back to back to back. Well, they said the momentum and that type of stuff kind of throws you off. So maybe having that week off advantage going into the World Series and the playoffs isn't as great. One thing it's good for is your pitchers, to be honest. But everybody else, they get routines. They
You also get everybody to heal up for the team.
But you also lose a lot of momentum. I hate to use that word. It seems so.
Well, that's what you have to keep. You have to keep the grind. You can't just be like, oh, well, we got a week off, guys.
But if you've got those,
let's just chill. No, you got to just get everybody out there.
Yeah, you guys got those,
and keep them
10-game hitting streaks or 8-game winning streaks, and all of a sudden you take a week off. It's like, well, shit.
Yeah,
you
keep them in batting practice. Keep them coming to the park every day.
So Philly's at home, so they'll be home tonight, and they'll play tomorrow. Then skip. So
we're in the bottom of the 7th. Phillies are only up 2 runs. And let's see, is there any outs in that game? It doesn't.
Just started that inning.
Okay.
Guess we just hit the middle. All right, let's move on to let's talk a little NFL before we segue into the upcoming college. Hey, I mean, this NFL week, interesting games.
Kenny needs NFL talk. Kenny needs somebody to have a fumble and a pass caught behind the line of scrimmage and yards taken away, because he is barely winning in fantasy.
I'm less than a point, and I'm going to need Ferguson not to catch anything else, the tight end for Dallas, and I can win it. But anyway, he's already caught 1. So are you looking that up over there, Creston? You're just itching to see, aren't you?
I am.
I'm surprised there's not some sort of alarm on my phone that goes off that I lose. When it hits that.
No, they don't have loser alarms. They just have, hey, your guy did that.
Your
guy did that.
We can improve.
You're still good. He's only had the 1 reception.
He's only been targeted 1 time too.
Oh, I know.
I need some Keenan Allen. I need some Keenan Allen action.
You'll be fine there. All right. What hopped up?
No, because Brandon Cooks is at 23 for 2 targets.
What stood out this week as far as NFL schedule?
Well, we all know what happened.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened?
The perfect teams are no longer perfect.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The Eagles and 49ers losing.
49ers, were they both? Both had failed kicks. Both had failed kicks that could have won in the game.
Games, yep.
And, I had Moody's a rookie. And
I'm starting to lean more towards you just never kick the ball. Just go for it on 4th
down.
Well,
so for the 49ers game, they still had time. They could have gotten even closer before they kicked that field goal. Well, they were only on 3rd down when they kicked the field goal.
Hey.
I didn't understand it. I did not know what Shanahan was thinking. But I will say, and I texted Kenny this, that Schwartz is going to take Stefanski's job.
Maybe.
I could see that happening. They keep failing. P.J. Walker, had a great season last season as a backup, and they brought him off. They didn't bring him off the bench. They brought him off of the practice squad, didn't they?
Well, they had Dorian Robinson.
But I
did he get hurt or something? Because I missed that.
He was just bad.
Let's talk about the 49ers game just a smidge as we get into the NFL. So, just a few stats I want to throw out there just for a second. Now, Cleveland was playing with their 3rd-string quarterback. We must admit that, correct?
Who is not technically a 3rd-string quarterback.
Well, whatever. He 18 of 34, 192 yards, 2 interceptions. Quarterback QBR of a 24 and a rating of a 45. Now, let's move on to the generational talent we call Brock Purdy. 12 of 27, 125 yards. 12 of 27. Now, what we will say is that Christian McCaffrey got hurt. Yes, he did.
Deebo Samuel went out.
And then Deebo Samuel went out.
And there were numerous dropped footballs.
Okay, I would hope for 12 of 20. So he's less than...
The weather was a factor.
He's less than 50%. He's less than 50%. What was the weather?
It was just wet. It wasn't like rainy, but it was just wet from the day before.
There was
a storm. Okay. There was a storm system that moved through.
Okay, so 12 of 27, 125 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Not bad. 40. QBR was 40. Better than the 3rd-string quarterback for the Browns. I think a lot of talk has been, I like to pile on Purdy, obviously because I've claimed that he's a fraud. And like I've said in previous podcasts, that I have come around to thinking he's better than a fraud. Okay. I still think that the team... Well, what? I mean, that's true.
I thought about this the other day. That you cannot plug and play a quarterback in that system. Trey Lance didn't work in that system.
Didn't plug and play.
Justin Fields would not work in that system. I think that, and we all know Jalen would work in that system. Justin Herbert would work in that system. Dak Prescott would work in that system. I don't think Lamar Jackson would really work in that system.
Well, if you're actually going to be a system quarterback, you have to move to the system. You can't do what you're normally used to doing if you're a system quarterback in a system. What you're saying is it's not the system's issue; it's the quarterback not
accepting the system.
Which
we've seen that with Justin Fields in Chicago,
who's hurt and's got some not bad numbers if you look at his stats.
A dislocated thumb. I'm sorry, baby boy, you haven't completed a season yet.
Anyway, let's get back to the 49ers game. So they have their,
not saying a word.
They have their first loss of the year, and so
isn't Cleveland the top defense in the league?
They are, and they are. I agree with that. Except the one week I picked them in fantasy and they just threw it up all over. Anyway,
I remember that game.
Yeah,
that was great.
Classic my fantasy.
Kenny picks them.
Yeah,
there you go.
I was like, I spent money on them too.
What else did you pick that went to crap this week?
No,
USC.
And Devontae.
But that's college.
Get to that. Yeah, we'll get to that pick. I had theories on that. And now they're all out the
stats.
Hold on.
It's all bullshit.
I said theories on that. I said theories.
I was trying to be a winner.
But no, I mean, so injuries, yes, they play a factor. Obviously, the 49ers had one of those games that everything just went wrong. But let's not sit here and say that Brock Purdy, that wasn't another reason why they lost that football game. He threw less than 50%. He threw a pick. He threw only 125 yards on 27 attempts. So let's not just sit here and say that he's not an issue with that. It is his first loss, and hey, that's great. We're going to see. But they did play the Browns, who has been, like Sean said,
bipolar.
It has been the best defense. They've beaten the Steelers, the Rams, the Giants, the Cardinals, the Cowboys. I mean, what juggernauts do you see there? And y'all can't say Dallas because you guys have shit on them all year.
Who? I didn't say Dallas.
Okay. They didn't play anybody.
Who?
San Francisco.
That's fine.
Steelers, Rams, Giants.
Who's Tua played?
That shit schedule too, but I'm not talking about him right
now.
Because you got one team. Because you know that the one team that he did play that was good slaughtered him.
Yes,
and he's got a very bad schedule coming up.
They lost bad. Yes, they did. They play the Eagles next.
I'm just going to tell you, Brock Purdy, you can say what you want about him. At the end of the game, when they need him, he drove him down the field. It's not his fault that the field goal kicker missed the field goal to win the game. Period.
No, he put that team in position to get 20 points. Yes. That's what I'm saying. If this is the best team in the NFL that people are claiming, and you lose one or two people on injury, they aren't the best team. If they mean that, that's what I'm saying. They're not the best team. Then if it's just one or two people
So you're taking out that they're playing the best defense. You're taking that out of the equation. You're just
third-string quarterback, though.
But
they're supposed to have one of the best defenses. San Francisco, yes or no? Yes or no?
I'm just saying, you can't just pick and choose the words you use to make people look like shit, and you do that all the fucking time.
You do.
All the time. You have to count every fucking aspect of it.
I do.
You can't just...
He picks and chooses
what
aspect.
It's so bad.
That way,
so bad.
When he makes his argument about who is the best, he picks and chooses those aspects.
He does. All the time.
I think my whole point is I had given...
So who's the best team in the NFL?
Hold on. I thought the 49ers. Makes me wonder. But not because of their quarterback. I think their quarterback is probably the weakest link on that team, just because of his experience.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And it's his first loss, and give him a lot of credit. That's saying a lot. But if one or two people go out on your team and that makes your team, then you aren't the best team in the NFL. You're right. They did play the best defense, but they also played their third-string quarterback on offense. That defense give up 17 or 20 points to them. Was it 20? Is that what it was? Sorry, I already clicked over to... What was
19.
19. They did give up 19 points to that And in the NFL, that's professional versus professional. 19 is not a lot of points. I understand that. But when you have that defense, you got to factor in they're playing their third-string quarterback, their first-string running back is out, their tight end had that issue with the caught on fire, so he's not playing. So there's a lot of people out on that offense, too. I'm just saying you go in, you win that game if you're the best team, if you're against the Browns. Now, obviously, those games in the NFL happen. It's fun to watch and fun to talk about.
You want to talk
because
about
I was sitting there when he missed that.
I'm sure.
I can bring up my bullshittery.
No, and the bullshittery also came out whenever the Jets beat the Eagles. Let's go ahead and go to that game next.
Let's move on.
Now pick and choose what
parts
we can
Jalen
argue about
making
this.
some bad decisions, and a lot of field goals. Zerline still can kick. Zerline kept them in that game because it was 14-3 at halftime, 14-9 at halftime.
Yeah, Zerline made 4 field goals in that game,
and then a costly interception from Jalen allowed them to get the touchdown.
But I don't know. I didn't see. Was there any major injuries? Because I know A.J. Brown made catches. Devontae Smith made catches.
As far as I know, there were no.
Swift ran the ball. Boston Scott. Looks like Jalen Hurts played and ran the ball. Swift ran the ball. So I didn't see anything major there. But the one glaring thing I saw was 3 interceptions by Jalen Hurts.
One was a tip. So we'll just go ahead and give that to that one not, but two definitely were him, especially that last drive.
Give Zach.
I know the last drive he almost had an interception, and
give Zach Wilson a little credit though.
I am I've never dogged Zach Wilson.
Oh, I think he's
everybody.
Trash. But anyway,
I'm gonna give him credit there.
No, 19 of 33, 186. But no mistakes.
I congratulate him because he's a cougar hunter.
I thought that was the most important. There was no mistakes that he made, and they played on the defense. Yeah. I mean, that's what they did. You got to.
Slade's defense.
So Jets get the win. They're 3-3 going into week 7.
Who had the Pats picked last? Oh, I have the Jets over the Dolphins. Can I change that real quick?
Well, I mean, who knows? They're 3-3. You've got talk of Aaron Rodgers coming back.
And so they still have not played the Dolphins as well. They've got 2 games left for that. I think they've got 2 weeks. They've got the Dolphins coming up. Is that what it is?
Okay, the Dolphins' schedule upcoming is going to be the Eagles next. Is that going to show that? There we go. Eagles are this week. They play at the Eagles.
Yeah, they got the Eagles.
Excuse me. And then we go week 8 is the Patriots win. Then we go the Chiefs. We get a bye week, week 10. Then we go Raiders, Jets, Commanders, Titans, Jets, Cowboys.
That's
Raiders.
what it was. It was
win.
It was the fact that the Jets were so close. The Jets games were so close together for the Dolphins. Dolphins, Jets, a week. 2 weeks, and then they go back
3. 2 end of it. Yeah, Jets, Commanders, Titans, then Jets.
Yeah, the Jets. So
I like how that sets up for Miami.
And that's fine. But also, we're going to talk about the Bills. The Bills did not show up against the Giants. I had to turn that game because I was bored.
It was a very boring game.
I was so bored. I turned the game and I started watching a horror show. And then I started watching videos from the 40s, 50s, and 60s
it kept my interest
on how to date or how to be thoughtful.
It kept my interest because it's football, and then it kept my interest because Daxton, that was his pick. Because my 14-year-old is still on in a money pot.
Bills or Giants?
He picked the Bills. So I'm
Who's in that money pot still?
4 got kicked out because the 49ers lost.
People stopped taking my 49ers.
So, but no, I mean, they look like shit. I don't know what is. You can tell Diggs.
I think it was just a week of football.
No.
It was just this week of football.
No, you can tell Diggs has got some issues.
The Bills has had several.
We know the Bills.
They're either hot or cold. They either look awesome.
There's only been one game they've looked hot, and that's the Dolphins game.
Well, and I said with them going to play the Jaguars, the fact that the Jaguars stayed there for an entire week and did not have to reacclimate, did not have to deal with that. Was that 16-hour flight?
They played 2 games in a row, so they were there. Yeah,
16-hour flight across the ocean. Something like that, 20-hour.
I don't know how long it is.
But yeah, you got to fly all the way over. But
booking agent, could you get me a trip?
I would have been over there. I would have been like, all right, guys, we're done with this game. We're going immediately over there, and we're going to start practicing.
Yeah, you would have. Well, you would have given their family maybe a time with family the next day, and then you leave.
Families don't matter. This
Well,
is your job.
I think-
your job means.
But I think
Did you get to tell your job? No,
I think Jacksonville accommodated a lot of family too when they brought them over. So I don't know why the Jaguars are the pseudo
Love
Europe
affair?
team.
So the Ravens, Kansas City has Kansas City. Oh, the Kansas City Dolphins game's over there, isn't it?
I don't know. I like that it's
No,
over there.
what
That's
game's
cool.
over?
But
Look
it seems
that
like the Jacksonville gets punished a lot by going over there. They're the every year team over there. So maybe they're trying to build a brand because they're eventually going to be out of Jacksonville anyway.
Somebody's Buccaneers lost.
Oh, I picked Detroit in my picks. So I mean, I
know you did, but that was a terrible game.
Detroit still looks like the third best NFC team to me.
Well, they're definitely the best team in the NFC North.
That's a fact. That is a fact. But good for the Buccaneers that everybody in the South lost yesterday. So
Pollard.
we didn't. Would you do a little checky?
I did.
Oh,
Just now.
still good.
Yeah, you're
Fourth
still
quarter, baby.
Yeah.
Let's
Just
go.
going one more pass.
Wait, where
one
am I?
more pass.
Am I up yet? Or
Yeah,
I'll look.
you'll be good.
You're fine.
So
I need to know. I need to know.
I thought also we did talk about the Chiefs. They didn't impress.
The Broncos' offense was what let them down in this game. It's the defense that's been letting them down all the other times, and then all of a sudden, your offense just lets you down. That was a pitiful
won,
offense.
Sean.
Did I?
Yeah.
So pitiful offense. Game's not over yet.
As we cruise on, is there any other games to talk about? Dallas is playing right now. What's the score of the Dallas?
It's 10-10. Dallas is driving. They are on the Chargers 16, and this is Dallas playing against their old offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore.
Which we figured that would be.
I keep wanting to say Diego, but it is L.A.
Yes,
It's hard.
They'll always be
hard. For me.
No, I think that I thought Kellen Moore was going to give it his best, and I still probably why it's close.
Well, okay,
So,
another one. Your generational talent, Desmond Ritter, has done.
I've never said that.
Yes, you have.
I have not.
Creston.
Desmond Ritter, the
Oh,
quarterback.
I'm sorry.
Bijan.
Calvin Bijan.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Bijan Robinson. Sorry, Bijan Robinson.
Hey,
Algier outran him.
hey, sometimes you've got those games, like you said, he's a rookie.
Barry Sanders never had those games. Emmitt Smith never had those games. Walter Payton never had those games.
Give him time. Boys.
Those are generational talents.
Zay finally scored his first touchdown.
Did he?
Yeah.
I thought he had a touchdown before
It
that.
was his first touchdown.
He caught me
And I
like,
think they're in.
he got me like 30
Were they in
points one
England
game.
too this week?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
he
that was
scored
the
he
England
scored his
game.
first one. So give me your Creston. Give me your best four teams too in the AFC. If you're going to go AFC Championship, NFC Championship. I mean, right now, what do you lean?
He wants you to say Miami is what he wants you to say.
I mean, how you feeling? What are you thinking in the AFC?
Seriously, I'm
It's Miami and the
thinking.
Bills. It's so bad.
God. I'm gonna go. I am gonna go to the Dolphins because they put up too many points, and then shit.
Of course, the Bills game concerns me.
Well, they've already lost them head to head, so
Once,
Yeah.
they'll play again. But,
I know.
But I mean, the way they lost concerned me in that game.
But I still would say the Dolphins, and
Me too.
We know. We're well aware.
NFC, Sean, be thinking about
So
that.
so I was right. The Dolphins Kansas City game is in
3 weeks.
Germany.
3 weeks.
In 3 weeks, they're going to Germany.
I'm still gonna ride the Chiefs though, even though they look unimpressive. They just
I would pick those.
they find a way to win.
I would pick those two teams also.
Just looking at that board, I don't. Yeah, Bills, Chiefs for right now. Even though the Chiefs are cute time and they're going to fail because they got a Taylor Swift curse, and Travis Kelce's doing way
so
too many
far,
commercials.
I mean, we're not quite halfway through.
and Travis Kelce's jumping in on SNL.
But yeah, I did watch that. So you think? I think are we all agreed that is Chiefs? What about the NFC? What do you? Eagles,
Eagles,
49ers.
and 49ers.
Me
is
too. Even
easy.
though they
Yeah.
both lost and they have quarterbacks
Yeah, Eagles
for
and
seven.
It's their first loss of the
okay.
season, and they made it 6 weeks into the season before losing.
I was just saying the facts.
Everybody else lost way before that, so deal with it.
All right. Well, Dallas, who Dallas has enough talent. I just think that we've talked about it before. Dak is going to be the issue with his decision making. Let the kid run the ball. Let him run the ball himself and keep running and not make mistakes.
Kidding me? Dallas timeout. What happened? Stalled?
Number two. All right. Are we ready to move on?
All right. Well, Dallas is down to one timeout. Stalled on the 16. What?
Let's move on.
Oh my God! What game had the? It was the Giants-Bills game with the bad. Tyrod Taylor got him. I did watch the end of it. Tyrod Taylor got him down, and they laid on Saquon Barkley, and they could not get.
That was the beginning of the end of the first half.
Was that it?
Yes.
Yeah, and
But
okay.
It was a bad play call.
Very bad play. Why they didn't pass?
Nah, well, hold on. I don't know.
He checked down because you
that's
saw
what I was
him.
going to say. Because Dayball, when he
And
walks
Dayball's
off the field,
pissed off
Dayball
at him.
throws that bald head was like steaming. I was ready for smoke to come literally like the cartoons at his ear because he was pissed. And
he needed 20 hot dogs to get through
that
halftime.
Tyrod did check. I think he changed the play, and he thought he saw something, and he ran it. You run it with 14 seconds, even laying down on somebody, it's going to take 5 to 6 to get the play and get up and get everything set.
Ball
then
set.
You got the
You don't have a time. Did they have a timeout?
No, they didn't have it. That was the problem. If they had the timeout, it wouldn't have been an issue. They'd have ran the ball, but they didn't. I thought they left 3 points on the board. It changed momentum going in. But I thought Tyrod Taylor played pretty well.
Tyrod Taylor played well last season, too.
But they just couldn't finish the big games. But Barkley being back changes that team. It's amazing how much better that team just looks with him back there. They only scored 9 points, but it's just you could tell.
I don't know.
It's just that momentum was going.
Christian McCaffrey goes out, and then you see how that team changes.
Well, I mean, he played half the game, I believe. But anyway, so
doesn't matter.
I'm just saying.
Saquon Barkley's played half the season.
Well, I don't.
And there's
think,
only
I don't,
6
I don't-
games in.
And I don't think that the Giants were
Rico?
playing the third
Who is
string
this
quarterback
guy?
for the other team either.
Who's Rico
So-
Dowd?
That's their backup running back.
Oh, and before we...
I've seen him on
Okay,
fantasy.
so before we do in the NFL, I am going to say that Michael Penix to the Bears. I would like to see that.
Well, are you saying?
Penix Jr. to the Bears.
Are you saying that we'll talk about?
He's
I got
become
that
my
game
favorite.
So you're saying Bears because of the Carolina pick, not because of the Bears pick.
Just any pick. Their first round pick should be Penix Jr.
Well, they have both. They have
That's
their own.
fine.
and
They can get a
Carolina.
wide receiver, and they can get him, or they can get a defensive line and a quarterback.
Well, that's fine. They can,
Or even a running
No, they
back.
can- they
We
can-
have any good
they-
running
they-
backs coming out this season?
they
I
can-
don't think
what
we
is-
do.
Just keep your quarterback now and just move him in the backfield.
That's true. We could do that.
I don't think that your quarterback is the main problem. I know you guys do. Can you imagine having a good wide receiver?
Could you imagine having a good quarterback?
Hold on, and a good. But
With-
who's
with
to say
good
that
decision-making?
anybody that's coming out of this draft?
Could you imagine
you
anybody
know
with
that they're
good
going to be that good?
decision-making?
I mean, do you know? Penix has history of injury problems.
Penix does? I
Yes,
know both.
at Indiana, he was hurt for like 2 years. The reason he transferred out there is because their coach used to be the offensive
Yes,
coordinator.
I don't
in
think he
Indiana.
looks that great anyway.
Well, we'll talk about that because I have the
Yeah,
game. But so you're saying that? But all I say is whoever's got number one, know if the team that wants Williams.
Do not take Caleb Williams.
Hold on,
Bad game
listen,
manager.
Listen.
Bad loser.
We'll talk about that in a minute, but we're still in the NFL. But when you're talking about the draft and mark it down, slap a label, whatever, trade that fucking first round pick for like 4 to 5 other first rounds, and let whoever thinks that he's generational take him. And you will set
Just
back.
don't take him first. You don't
No,
have
that's
to
what I'm
take
saying.
him
You
first.
trade him.
No, he'll set. If the Bears have the first pick, he's going to
You trade the pick is what I'm saying. You trade it to
There's
someone.
so many good quarterbacks right now. Take the quarterbacks this season.
I just trade it. Bump on down.
To who?
Come on down.
To
Whoever
what?
wants to move up.
To what? Till you get to Jackson Arnold and Arch Manning?
Well, get it till next year then. Tank another year. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You're going to have
That's the problem. They're trying not to tank.
No, you're going to have 3 or 4 years.
That's the Broncos. I don't know what's going on with the Broncos.
You're going to have 3 or 4 years of first round picks plus your own. Because somebody's going to give up the farm for Williams. If they call his dad and say, would you come to our team? And then we'll trade for you.
New York Giants.
I think they've got one more year, Daniel Jones, because his contract. It's easier to get out after the next year.
Yeah, but you could have.
Hey, we'll
you,
talk-
you could have a bridge. Like I was listening to the other guys that said you could have a bridge to this new quarterback. So you could have Daniel Jones as the bridge.
Dallas scored
For-
17-10.
Who got
I
that?
don't see that
Who got that
Ferguson caught
touchdown?
that touchdown. All right, let's move on. Let's
Find out who got stat.
We'll talk about. We'll move on. Let's talk about college. So
Okay.
obviously,
I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna bump into.
no. Let's not talk about them yet. Let's go to OSU. I mean, that was our local game of the week. OU and Tulsa had the game the week off, and OSU comes plays ranked Kansas, and
I
then
wrote down the stats for the last 2 games and the 2 games before that, the ending stats. Stop with the boner. To see the difference in the game and what was played and what the differences were.
I have a couple things to talk about differences.
Bowman's passing better.
Their play calling is just better.
Yeah.
It's not
both sides of the ball
run up
has
the middle.
become.
Run up the middle. Let's run it again.
Yeah.
They're actually doing some end arounds, some sweet, some things that Casey Dunn thought, wow, I should watch Madden football and learn a play or two. Because his play calling has been vanilla.
What was did you see the picture of Sean Payton's card? And it said something like old man nugget or something.
Okay.
Find the picture. They zoomed in on his play calling card.
Oh yeah. You could see the whole back.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's like cream puff.
Yeah. That was bad. Everyone, but hey, then Ollie Gordon, he comes out. They run the ball with him.
So Ollie Gordon and I believe Ollie Gordon
Which
and Priestley have both stepped
everybody
up.
has talked about Ollie Gordon. Why hadn't he been playing? Did he have an injury or something? I guess I've been a little confused or not playing because if he's younger or whatever. But he's been the first running back.
He played in that South Alabama
He's
game.
the first running back to have 100 yards receiving, 100 yard rushing since like 1990 or 89 for OSU. Think about the running backs you've seen since then, and he's the first to have 100.
God, who was that
100
running
and
back?
100. Hudson, Houston, Gerald,
Yeah.
something. Yeah, Gerald. I'd never heard of him because.
No, I did because I was.
But he led the Big 12, I think.
I loved football. You were still playing with Barbies.
So I think it was. I think he led the year.
And your trumpet.
League
Trumpet and
rushing.
Barbies. Hey, Barbies, we're gonna march.
Led
March,
the,
Barbies!
Shut up. Led the league in rushing, I think, in the Big 12. Either the year before or that year that he had the stats. So, no, I mean, they're 2-1 now, 4-2. You think about the losses they had before, especially, what was the conference loss, Sean? I know they lost to South Alabama, and but what was the conference loss that I'm missing that was just horrific?
I'm trying to write Young Kenny and his marching Barbies.
I thought I had OSU's schedule pulled up. Oh, there it is right there.
Oh, you got it.
It was.
Of course, it showed up to the Ohio State.
It was ISU. It was Iowa State.
That's right. Yes, that is right.
Hi, everybody. I'm the information man.
No, I mean, you think about.
And then we went in and we beat Iowa State, who has one of the better defenses in the Big 12.
Well, their offense has impressed me more than anything.
Recently, but not before.
27-34, and then.
Somebody took Iowa.
But they beat both Kansas teams, and so.
They beat Jackson Bean. What is that kid's name? They beat Bean. Bean is not as good as I thought he was. Do you remember last season he came?
Statistically, 23 of 34, 4 touchdowns. Or, I'm sorry, 410 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
2 interceptions, but 2
and
costly interceptions.
I
And
know,
no
but
rushing game.
look at this. I mean, but
no rushing
but
game.
the defense kind of turned around. That the last 5 possessions of Kansas, they had 0 points. I think they had 2 turnovers, 2 4-and-outs, and I think the last one was a turnover, maybe.
Kansas State 0
or
points in
something.
the fourth.
Yeah, there you go. So defense showed up, and the offensive line. Everything about OSU is getting better. They always do. It's just that thing they do with Gundy. It's that thing
that you do with Gundy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit my
Ceiling.
ceiling today.
So, hey, good win for them. Impressed that they've continued to get better. Right now they're setting tied for third with Texas, Kansas State, and West Virginia. Now that's a huge game this week.
Looks like Iowa State's 3-1.
That's a huge game this week with West Virginia. Yeah, tied for third.
They play what? Oh, that's right. They already had that.
OSU plays
I'm
West
not
Virginia
pulled
this
up.
week. How you guys feeling about that?
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and take Oklahoma State in that game, and then whenever Oklahoma State loses that game, I will take the other team, and then Oklahoma State will win again because
That's
this
what
is what
happens
happens
every
all
week.
season.
Yep.
I take the
I do
other
the same
team.
thing.
So you
I
pick
take,
them
I
and they
take
lose?
Oklahoma State, they lose. I take the other team, they win. I hate those guys.
So I picked them with the over. Their over under was 6.5. I took the over on them. They've got what, 4 wins right now, Sean? Here's their games left remaining. They've got at West Virginia,
Cincinnati at home,
Uh-huh.
Oklahoma at home,
Oh, you got it right there. There you go. Okay.
UCF. They got to go down to the bounce house. and then they got to go to Houston, and then they end the season with BYU.
I see 3 to 4 wins there.
I do
potentially.
Too. I do too.
Because I think they can beat BYU in Houston, and even UCF. Because
we're going to see what kind of UCF.
But
team
Cincinnati's been weird. I mean, Iowa State killed them.
Neil's trying to fight for his job. So
well, and they've done well, except the Hail Mary last week to Houston, which they should have won, and that would have put them ranked against OSU.
Why are so Oklahoma's moving down because we've only beat one ranked team, which I don't mind it. I understand it. I completely understand it. And then when we do get a ranked team, that ranked team loses and gets knocked out. So Oklahoma's not going to have any more ranked teams to beat. So what we're going to have to do is go back in, hope Texas wins out, beat Texas again.
It's the only way we get in the Final Four.
Yeah. And we've also got to hope for Washington, Oregon, Michigan.
That'll all
Oh, no. We go undefeated. We're fine.
But what I'm saying is
there.
we need one of those teams to have another 1-loss, 2-loss to knock them down a little bit.
No, the only reason that we...
But they all get to play ranked teams. They all get to play ranked teams.
Texas
and they all
but I don't think it matters. I mean,
it does matter.
Texas wins out or OU wins out, they're in the Final Four, period.
No.
For sure, hands down.
No.
What?
If OU wins out, they're in the Final Four.
Texas beats us, they're in. They beat Alabama. The only loss is to ranked OU. There's not going to be 4 undefeated teams sitting there waiting for Texas to get in there. That's what I'm saying. The winner of the OU-Texas game, if we all win out, is in the Final Four, period.
No.
Mark it down. Write it down right now. This timer on this day, it's a fact. But both of them's got to win out.
Yeah, that's the only way.
No, but I'm saying if Texas wins out, they're in. They beat OU, they're in. Final Four. Ain't easy.
So Florida State wins out.
There's not going to be 4 undefeated teams. You can't find them.
What do you mean
Florida
you can't
State
find
can
them?
win out.
They will.
Michigan can win out.
Yeah.
Or Ohio
State.
Yeah.
But one of them two.
Correct.
Georgia can win out because they don't play anybody.
There's 3.
Here.
There's 3.
Right here.
Remember, Penn State. Penn State could also jump in there with a win over one of these two teams.
Hey, listen, there's a lot of undefeated teams, but I'm telling you in reality that all those teams aren't going to win out. There's not
I
going to
know,
be
but they're more apt to take a 1-loss Ohio State or a 1-loss Michigan.
No. Because that would be a recent loss. They've beaten Alabama early in the year and lost to OU. Texas strength of schedule is top 10, folks. I know some of those other teams are.
Still this is still one of my favorites. Seeing USC down to number 18.
Where's the LSU ranking? Is it still moving on up?
That's right there, Kenny.
There we go. 2 losses, just cruising on that.
You're going right back to the Final Four.
I don't understand how you can't say that they're in if either one. I mean, if we went out, yes.
Yeah, that's easy.
But you've got Georgia, Michigan, Florida State, and Washington. Right there is your 4 teams from 4 conferences that's undefeated.
You still have an
but I'm
undefeated
saying
Air
they're
Force
not
to
all going to
contend
win
with.
out.
You have
It's not gonna happen.
an undefeated Air Force to
Washington.
So who's beating Georgia?
No one.
Okay. Who's beating Michigan or Ohio State when they play each other?
All right.
But so the other
Now
one's undefeated.
they got to play again.
What happens
Hang on. So
if Washington and Oregon end up in their final and Oregon beats Washington in their final?
They both have 1 loss.
To each other.
Would they not take that over OU?
No, because
yeah, they would because it was 9 playing 5.
Oh, no.
9 lost to 5, and then 5 loses to 9.
Hold on now. What are you talking about? OU's only getting into winning out.
Winning out, yeah.
You think
So
they
Texas
take a 1-loss over
They've done
OU
it before.
undefeated?
They've done it
No,
before.
I'm not saying that.
No.
What
They've
I'm saying
taken a
is,
one-loss-
what
they
I'm
took a
saying
one-loss
is
Alabama
Oregon and
over-
Washington. Hang on, Oregon and Washington play each. Okay, first of all, Washington could win out.
Yes.
Florida State can win out.
Yes.
Georgia can win out.
Yes.
And
I'm
then,
just saying it's not
And then
gonna
Michigan
happen.
and Ohio State can
I mean,
win
there's
out.
a lot of what-ifs, but I'm just saying they're all not going to win out.
Okay, but here's my deal.
I'm talking if you get into the 1-loss
Here's my deal. Georgia's not losing. We all can kind of agree on that.
Tight ends out. They play Tennessee this week
I'm
or
still
next.
saying Cal.
There's a potential. They don't look as good, but anyway.
No, this week's Alabama hate week.
It's Alabama, Tennessee.
We're taking that game.
But I think Georgia plays. I'm not saying they're totally
No, I'm
undefeated now,
just saying.
But they have the
more
easiest
likely,
schedule.
90% chance they
Florida
win out.
State's the other one.
Okay, Michigan, Ohio State. One of them more than likely is going to win out.
Correct.
Okay,
But
so
they
there's
still got to
two.
play Penn State,
But there's
too.
2. Florida State more than likely is going to win out because Florida State
Ohio
has.
State's next
Easy
week.
schedule.
Okay, so there's
Penn
3.
State, Ohio State's coming this week.
So Washington wins out. You're saying they're not. But
I don't think they do.
But here's my point. OU loses to Texas in the Big 12.
Okay.
So we both have one loss to each other. Mm-hmm. And you're telling me that Washington plays Oregon in the Pac-12 championship. They both only lose to each other.
Okay.
They both have higher ranking wins than Texas or OU because they were 5 and 7 or 5 and 6 when they played, and they've only lost to each other. How do you take Texas?
Because Texas. Hold on. Texas beats Oklahoma, who's ranked right below Washington, right?
Okay.
So that's a
and
high
they beat
win.
Alabama.
Who's going to be higher than anybody else that Washington beats?
Washington has
They only beat them once. You're saying they lost to them already. Can you count that as a win?
But they still play. They still play Utah, which is ranked.
They've done it before.
I mean, they play these ranked teams in the Pac-12 has more ranked teams.
All of these. Who
USC, they beat them. They're ranked.
Washington beat USC already?
No, they're going to beat them when they play.
Oh, I don't think Washington will be ranked. I don't think USC is going to be ranked when they play them.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Did you not see that USC was way down there?
Yeah.
They've got Utah.
They moved to 18.
Now, we need Cam Rising.
But I'm just saying,
if Utah beats them, then they're out.
We need Cam Rising to come back
now,
for
Utah would be a win.
Cam, I think.
Now, yes,
Washington.
But all I'm saying is you have Utah.
Washington has a harder schedule. I agree with that.
So Oregon does, too.
I don't think that Washington's going to go undefeated until the big Pac-12 championship, though. I just don't think so. I'm not as impressed as everyone is with Penix. I'm just not.
I'm not either. But I'm just saying,
I
think they've played the hardest team they're going to play, Oregon, and already beat them.
I don't need runaround Sally.
Maybe.
I don't need runaround Sally on the Bears.
You have again. Right now, you have UCLA.
Sean, would you pull up Oregon's schedule?
USC, Utah, Oregon State, Oregon,
are you reading?
And Washington. Schedule? No, I'm telling you the 5 teams out of the Pac-12 that's ranked right now.
Oh, okay. So I agree.
So you play 5 teams and beat 5 teams.
Washington has only beat one ranked team so far, and that's Oregon.
Texas has only beat one ranked team so far.
Correct. Agreed. Oh, did they? You sure they didn't beat? Was somebody else ranked when they beat them? Because Texas. It all counts about when you beat them, not when.
No, they only beat Alabama.
Kansas or somebody crazy wasn't ranked that they beat.
Yeah,
they did beat Kansas. Okay, but
that's counted as a ranked win.
Okay, so they've got 2 ranked wins, and then they win.
So Washington's got left is Arizona State, Stanford, USC. Probably won't be ranked by then, but could be. Utah, possibly.
Stanford? Is that what you said? Stanford's ranked?
No. USC might not be ranked. And then you've got Utah and Oregon State, which Oregon State at the moment is 12. But let's say Utah or you're going to get one.
Now you told me I can't do the hypotheticals. Now you're putting
you're hypothetically saying that everyone's going to go undefeated, is what you first said earlier. And I said that's just not going to happen. There's not going to be 4 undefeated teams.
No, I said Georgia was 90% going undefeated.
And Florida State would be the 2, and I don't think the other ones will.
Yeah.
So you don't think Ohio State or Michigan, either one, is going to go undefeated?
I don't know. I mean, Michigan more likely than Ohio State. They've looked better.
Well, okay, how many times has Penn State...
Because Penn State's got to play them.
How many times is Penn State ranked...
And lose.
In the top 10, and then shits the bed...
I'm just telling
you.
If you look right now...
No, I got Oregon right now.
Yeah.
So Oregon's closing schedule, Washington State, that's a win. Utah, I hate to say it, more than likely.
So they pretty much play the same schedule
Cal,
as Washington.
Yeah, they
then
both play
go
the same
to a USC slaughter. They just...
Here's the problem: Oregon State plays Washington before Oregon does.
Yeah,
and so does, and Washington plays.
Well, that's the Civil War. That's the last Civil War
before Oregon does. So you could change that rankings if they keep. You see what I'm saying? That could drop some of them ranked teams out. My whole thing is I don't think that Washington goes undefeated up until the Pac-12 championship. If they do, great. That's a surprise. I think the Pac-12 championships both got 1 losses.
Who am I looking for?
Both teams.
Okay, so Oregon beats Washington in the Pac-12 championship with 1 loss. They only lost to a ranked team at the time, which was what, 5?
I just know. I think the Texas brand is bigger. I think the Alabama brand is bigger, and I think you just.
So it doesn't matter about the wins. It's the brand. It's Alabama.
Oh, it is. I mean, you're talking about a Final Four. I'm not talking about who deserves it. I'm talking about who's getting in there. I mean, you look at this playoff committee. OU's had the benefit of other teams to get it because of our brand.
I need to look up Penn State. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, Penn State schedule.
Okay, now you can.
But no, I'm saying I see the brand, and now
I can see 3 undefeated teams.
If Alabama goes and blows another one, then Texas is out. I agree with that. I totally agree. Because that loss looks worse. As long as you have that one undefeated team or that one lost team getting that win back like Texas did. Right. I'm just saying that they're in love with the Texas being back.
For Penn State, like I said, this week is Ohio State. Then they run into Indiana, which has had a really decent defense this year, but not the best. So they're gonna win that game.
Hey, it's all gonna come down to those 2 games.
Maryland has been off and on again.
No, it's just going to be down to those 2 games.
And then Michigan, and of course poor Michigan State.
So they have the harder game at home.
Yes. Yeah, they got number 2 Michigan, but they also
have
to go to
Yeah, they
Ohio
have the harder
State.
game at home. Yeah.
They got to go to Ohio State and play there. Then they got to have a home game.
Don't we think Michigan's probably better than Ohio State right
I
now?
said that at the beginning of the year. You argued with me.
I did. And I'm just saying right now.
What?
Yeah, that Michigan's probably better than Ohio State.
Yeah,
overall.
that's why I picked Michigan and you picked Ohio State.
Said right now, bitch. Just not.
Oh,
that could be later. Just saying that's the end.
Oh,
We're talking right now.
Did I win?
We're talking halfway through.
Did I win picks? I won picks. Woo!
No,
The only one that I got up there that I don't
all right.
think
Ohio
is right
State.
is LSU.
Ohio State cake schedule after playing Penn State. And then
it's kind of the same. It's that whole, and they can potentially have the 1-1-1 roundabout tiebreaker stuff too.
Here we go. Now we're gonna roll down to stop it. Stop showing everything that I look at. My pornography.
And see, and that's the predictor right now.
Ohio State's got
We'll go back.
Yeah,
Ohio State.
Yeah, this is Michigan. You got State, Purdue, Penn State. So they've got a little harder because they got to hit Penn State, Maryland, which, like I said, they have been a hard team this season, and Ohio State. They're just closer together. Everybody else is just more spread out.
But they've got Ohio State at home, which is huge.
You wanted to look at the predictor for the game?
No, I just saw that.
They got Ohio State
50-50.
I don't know how you figure that. I mean,
it's FPI. It's all the.
I mean, what's Ohio State's big win? Notre Dame.
That's not a big
2
win.
losses.
That's
what I'm
not a
saying.
big win.
They haven't had one. But what's
But
Michigan?
no, it's when they played them at the time.
I agree.
I
agree.
I'm trying to figure out if Michigan is still playing
what was the other loss? Oh, it was Louisville after that, wasn't it?
Louisville,
and then
Louisville lost to Pitt.
Yeah. So see that doesn't help Ohio State's. That doesn't help them there.
And how was
I'm just saying I could see Georgia, Michigan, and Florida State going undefeated, and then I could see Washington and Oregon, one of them winning the Pac-12, even with
beating
the one
each other
and beating each other.
Well, that's a possibility.
And they're going to take that over a one-loss Oklahoma or a one-loss Texas.
Oh well, if we lose one, we're screwed. I mean, no matter what. I mean, we're not going to be able to make it if we lose back to Texas.
because we have no ranked teams coming.
I understand that. That's what I'm saying.
We have to beat every team.
If you've got a one-loss...
Texas has a better chance only just simply because the ranked wins before. That's all I was saying.
Okay.
Throw it to Keenan Allen.
All right.
Throw it to Keenan Allen. Throw it to Keenan Allen. Throw it to Keenan.
Are we still in NFL? What time are we at, Sean?
We are at real time or fake time?
Fake time.
47.
All right, let's move on. All right. Let's
go.
No,
that's real time. Real time's 47. Fake time's 51.
Oh, okay.
I got it backwards.
So Tulsa comes back from their hiatus. Difficult loss to Florida Atlantic before they went into their break.
Didn't Florida Atlantic just kill somebody recently?
I thought the rain was probably the
rain was a huge factor.
The bigger problem.
But they have Rice at home.
Tulsa has I was going to take a snapshot of that. Tulsa's strength of schedule was top 15, I believe, in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Strength of schedule for their football
team.
They
got to run into SMU, and then they've got a Tulane 2 weeks after that.
I think Rice and SMU is going to be 2 tough ones, and then I think they could beat Charlotte. North Texas,
beat Charlotte.
East
Carolina's
3 wins right now. Yeah. Okay. So they're.
And we had taken the over.
Real close to bowl eligible.
Hey, let's just buy a ticket. Oh, I can't go to the Rice game.
So real close. Hey, listen. At Rice, who's quarterback for Rice? Is that the old JT? No.
JT Daniels.
Is it JT Daniels? Is that who we're thinking?
Well,
it's
hold
the
on.
Old,
yes, JT Daniels.
USC. Yeah, there we go.
The old USC. The old was he?
But is that
Did he go to Pitt or West Virginia?
Has had a pretty good run. Yeah, I think it was Pitt, wasn't it? I don't know. These quarterbacks, it's tough to keep up. When you say, "Hey, what quarterback went where?" and you're like, "Remember him here." But
if I just leaves,
but he could have had
leaves,
3
and
teams
leaves and leaves and leaves and leaves. You're just always on a different. I don't get it. I don't understand, and that's why the portal needs to be under control. Because JT Daniels has played on 5 different teams now, 6.
Yeah, how do you keep track?
I mean, Bo Nix has been playing for 10 years.
There's one we missed that was big time that we
What?
should have known of JT Daniels teams that you're all sitting there going to go.
It was USC.
Damn it. We missed that one.
He played USC. He played Georgia. He started at Georgia, didn't he?
Yeah, one you're missing.
Well, West Virginia.
Mhm.
Yeah, and now he's on Rice.
Yeah, there you go. That was the 4.
Yeah,
Yeah, I forgot
knew-
about West Virginia.
No, I knew that because the backyard bowl last year was him and Kendall Slovis against each other.
Yeah, and where's Slovis at?
Who cares?
Is he maybe still there?
No, he's not. He left too. Kendall
might-
Slovis went to SMU, I think.
He might be.
No, I didn't
did
go
he
to
graduate now?
I don't know.
Oh, he's at BYU.
Golly.
So yeah, you got these quarterbacks that are just changing team.
You can't keep up with it.
So what they're doing is
That'd
they're
be
getting
some hardcore
themselves.
trivia right there.
they're
If you
getting
named the 7
themselves-
teams as quarterback named so and so.
Well, it's like I said, Bo Nix has been in the league for 10 years. It feels like, or in the NCAA.
What'd you think about him?
I think that he's going to make a great offensive coordinator one day.
So you don't think he's good at quarterback? I mean,
I think
NFL.
I think he
I'm
is
talking
good
NFL.
at quarterback. I don't know that he's NFL caliber quarterback. For health wise, I do know that there's been some times that he has been out, but I think that he's a good game manager. Doesn't always work out for him.
I think
doing
I
his
think
own
their
plays.
coach killed that team more than anything in that game.
Dan Lanning. Dude, that was the game of the week. Washington, Oregon was game of the week. I
It
had
was exciting.
so much fun watching that game.
You know, but I talked about it, and Zach.
Yeah, but
Zach
why,
has been
if
on
you're
Pitt-
up by 4, do you go for it on 4th down on your side of the 50?
They didn't make a 4th down all game, all the whole game.
Missed
But
the first half,
why?
too. Left points on the board first half.
Yeah.
Give them the ball in a field. Hey, I disagreed with the call too, and we talked about that. Now, of course, he says analytics will tell you da 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 da. Analytics is sliding more that a kicker is not going to have a job before long.
Yeah.
But in reality, though, if you give that other team that it just keeps coming out, if you give that other team
Analytics is Kenny's foreplay.
No.
before he gets into the stats.
But if you give that other team that extra yards, I mean, because I'm sitting there going, what were they on their own 40, 45? 45?
Yeah.
I know they were on their own side of the field. And I thought, wow, Pooch kick that down and make Washington, who's not played real well,
drive the
at end of
ball the
game,
whole way.
Make them
Yeah.
drive an
And
extra
Bo
40
Nix-
And there was only like a
yards.
minute
And Bo Nix is an
30
expert
seconds
at
or-
pooch kicking.
And weren't they up by 4? Is that what you
They
said?
were.
They
Yeah,
were
'cause
up
it
by
wasn't
4.
a field goal win.
No, they were up by 4.
Yeah.
And if you
Phoenix
pooch
took 2 plays to get to the end zone, or 3?
3.
It was.
But there was only a minute and a half or less in the game. Kick the ball down there, pin them back
And like I
inside
said,
the 10 or 20, and make them drive the length of the field.
Bo Nix is a pooch. He knows how to pooch kick.
I don't know. I think, and that's a young coach. And like I've said on podcasts before, I think one of the best things, I mean, obviously OU's fixed a lot, but I thought Brent Venables' in-game management this year has been night and day versus last year. Some of these other coaches, I think that Marcus Freeman for the Notre Dame team, I don't think he's a very good coach, in-game coach. I think he's a hell of a recruiter and a coordinator. I'm beginning to wonder about his. I mean, he's made some gaffes in some of these plays too, as far as
He really
decision
has.
making.
Yeah.
Dan Lanning's another one. Dan missed some games last year.
And the
that was
other
good.
exciting game.
Now he's fiery, and that's everything, and that's great.
Other
but,
exciting game was Notre Dame USC. Watching just 3 interceptions in the first half, and a scoop and score, or was it a scoop? It was just a scoop. wasn't it?
Scoop and score was Mario Williams, our former wide receiver. There did that one. He dropped that one.
He dropped that one.
But yeah, that was a fun game to watch, and just to see the dejection, and to know that hey, it's not Alex Grinish's defense; it's failing.
That game was the offense.
It's your whole team.
No, that game was an offensive problem.
They did have a better defense.
The
this
defense
time.
looked better in that game. But like I said,
Notre Dame's not an offensive
and
juggernaut.
I picked USC simply for that fact. That's exactly why I went on a limb and picked USC because I
Fool.
think they're.
Ain't that what he always says, John? Fool.
And I was.
Stinger.
I will admit that I was a fool, and I mispicked, and because I thought that this was Caleb Williams' game to show
that he is a good quarterback.
Is that quarterback
and that
guy,
and that he can mentally take it, that he can get there, that he can do it. Because he didn't do it against Cameron Rising in Utah.
Everything.
They've got you predicted to win now. How much is left in the game?
Well, 6 minutes. So
hey,
did I
They
win?
do.
Did I win?
You're up by 10 points or so.
Hey, this ain't fantasy hour, goddammit. Let's go. But anyway, I'm saying that I thought that he was going to be.
So nobody can see this, but Kenny's the only USC pick.
It's that Lincoln Riley love affair.
Oh, I don't.
I told you, he's in love with him.
That is the best hire OU's ever had. It was one of the worst.
You are the greatest.
No, I did not say he was the
nation.
best. Bob Stoops will always, in my opinion,
The
go
greatest
down as the
offensive
best
mind
hire.
in the nation. Oh, let's get Cliff Kingsbury
I think
in here.
I've not said. I think he is a good
Cliff
offensive
and Lincoln
coordinator.
back
Lincoln
together, having buddy time.
No, but that's exactly what you needed right there. Was
Lincoln
that
Riley?
Lincoln Riley is an offensive coordinator
Cliff
come into a strong defensive-minded, tough team when Bob Stoops was there. That's why they done so well. And then as you progressively look, and we've talked about this, they got worse and worse and worse as he took over. They just got softer.
I need to say this real quick. I was listening to Danny and Dusty, and a lady called in. She's like, we need to get rid of all the Texas A&M coaches. Just start over. We need to bring in Cliff Kingsbury like it was when it was like, who what?
Please.
I was like, ma'am, have you not paid attention to what Cliff Kingsbury has done since leaving A&M? What he did at Tech, what he did at Arizona, and what he's doing now to USC?
I think though that was the reason I picked him though. That team because
Then why did you pick Wisconsin over Iowa?
I don't buy Iowa's offense and
I don't either.
And their defense is much better. And you have to realize Tanner Mordecai got hurt in that game. So I'm just saying.
Excuses. It doesn't matter if your quarterback gets hurt.
I didn't say quarterback. I said one random other player. If your quarterback gets hurt,
I said Tanner Mordecai.
No, I'm saying you were mocking me for the other things I was saying. No one got hurt.
Christian
as quarterback
McCaffrey's not a random other
except
player.
the Bears. I mean,
That's
Justin
true.
Fields did get hurt. So but no, I'm saying Tanner Mordecai got hurt. Not that would have been the reason. Iowa's defense is legit. I will give them that. They just haven't played a good offense. And they're going to get their ass killed because they can't score.
I know. They're going to go into that. They're going to go into that title game because there's nobody that's really.
They're going to be in that.
Yeah, they're going to go. They're going to go to the Big Ten.
And everybody in the Big Ten
title
people
game.
are going to be sitting there going, "Fuck, have we not changed this playoff or this title game?" Which I think they do next year. Do they not?
They do. They
Yeah,
go to
so
the,
USC can maybe get in it. Just kidding.
UCLA, Oregon, Washington.
No. All right. Bum, bum, bum. All right, let's talk a little bit about this week's games. We talked about Tulsa. I think Tulsa wins. I think they can win.
Yeah, I'm going to take Tulsa.
Defense.
Defense
has got to play better because Rice does. Their offense can move the ball, but their defense isn't as great. So I'm going to give Tulsa the win.
And I did give Creston a fluff on the picks because he was child rearing. And
what's the?
So.
What was the? Let's talk a little bit.
Oh, me being 20 minutes late.
I knew something was up. So I was just like, I was fucking with you.
Sorry.
And Tulsa is a 3-point favorite, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Right now. All right, let's talk about OSU. OSU goes to Morgantown. Sean, have you done the picks? You know what the spread is, haven't you? There they are.
I haven't done
3.5.
I haven't looked at spreads. I've not looked at spreads.
West Virginia's 3.5-point favorites. They did lose on a Hail Mary to Washington. Houston.
Houston. Generally, I would be looking because I'd be working. I would be looking at the spreads right now. But since I'm not,
Check out the Fantasy.
Oh, God. Hey, no, this ain't fantasy hour.
Well, I know I'm watching Dallas got the ball. And what we're talking about, folks, here as we finish up.
Kenny's trying for his second win.
And
I'm trying for my second win over the top.
He's still only at 2.5 points, targeted one time tonight.
Because the tight end for Dallas could not catch one more ball.
And I am,
and we are good to go, and I might win this.
Hold on, and I am.
It might be the win of the century.
I am playing. I am playing the fantasy juggernaut of our league.
Who?
Zombie Girl. Remember, she's got all the Josh.
Hunter Marone is the juggernaut.
Yes.
Let's not say that.
She is.
Did you watch that video?
Good job, Hunter.
That video that I did?
So 3.5 point favorite. OSU going to Morgantown. I think that's a 6 o'clock kickoff, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't care.
No, 2:30.
I'm not taking OSU. I'm not doing
it. You're not
doing it. Because I've taken them twice this year, and they lost both times.
I'm taking them so they lose.
Thank you. I need the win.
You're welcome.
I think we need OSU to keep winning to play us.
I understand this, but I mean, every time I think they're going to do something.
I don't like your thought process.
Yes, I'm going to take OSU this week. I think they're...
I probably will too, but I'm going to say I'm not.
Do you think Bowman's settled in?
I just think that their defense looks better, and maybe they're going to be...
But I'm saying, do you think Bowman has settled in?
I do, and I think they're going to be less vanilla. They need to get the ball out of his hands fast and put it in their playmakers' hands. That's what you got to do. Good teams find the playmakers, they put it in their hands. Simple as that. Pretty simple.
TCU Kansas State no longer matters. Thank you, Kansas State, for losing to Oklahoma State.
It matters when they play Texas.
Human garbage. Yeah. I don't need them to beat Kansas. I need Texas to win. I need Texas to win so we can play them again and beat them again.
I kind of don't want them in the Big 12 championship.
I don't either.
But two things. Simply because
it's harder to beat a team the second time.
But second, I just want to see all their fans whine because they're like, what?
I do too.
They already planned on it being there. We'll see you in Dallas. Or we'll see you in Jerry World. They've already planned it. Now they're already planning us too, so let's not get ahead of this.
I don't want to jump a cart ahead. I don't want to get in front of UCF.
Let's move into that game.
I don't want to get ahead of the OU-UCF game. Gus Malzahn is a dangerous head coach.
19.5 point spread at home. OU has no problems in this game. We're going to know.
We've covered the spread all season.
We're going to know after this game how focused and tense our coaching staff, if they're keeping these kids focused enough. We let off this game. We got issues. I think they go out and they win by 30. That's my pick. I don't think there's going to be any issues. I think we're going to see a lot of bench players.
Kenny, you never see anybody win by 34.5 points.
That's 35. But I went 30, and you see that a lot. Not 35.
Thank you, Zach, you jackass.
But no, I like it. I mean, what do you think about the game? I think I
think we win easy. I don't know if it'll be 30, but I think we'll win. I think we'll win by 20, 25.
Are you leaning to cover?
Oh, no, they're not going to. No, they'll beat 19.5. OU.
That's what I'm saying. You think we'll beat the cover?
Yeah. I think we win 20, 25 points.
And I think it's good that Gus Malzahn gets to come back and see some family.
They do have their quarterback back. Rice Plum.
Okay, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about Gus Malzahn.
I'm talking about their team.
He can come back. He gets to see family. His team gets beat, but he gets that peace of mind of relatives being around and close. So if you head over to Arkansas and hang out.
UCF has beat Kent State, Villanova.
You know how bad it is.
Some team I can't even read my writing. They didn't matter. They
know,
lost to K-State, Kansas, and Baylor.
Do you know how bad it is to remember watching Gus Malzahn coach high school football?
Well, no, but I mean he did well at TU with.
He did great, and he should have stayed.
Graham. So what happened there is you have Todd Graham, a defensive guy that is a raw, fiery culture, probably a little over the top as he got older.
Hold on, didn't Malzahn had went to Auburn and came back?
No, he went to Arkansas, and he was their with Houston Nutt. He was their
Houston.
OC.
That's how they got Dave Mustaine. I'm sorry, that's
Mitch.
Mitch Mustaine. Dave Mustaine is the lead singer of Megadeth.
Oh, okay, so got Mitch Mustaine, and then all of a sudden it didn't work out. Right. I think more people were trying to push Houston out to bring Gus in, and it just was a weird thing. Gus left. No, Gus left and came with Todd. I almost said Todd Bowles. That's the Tampa coach. His name's Todd Graham. Todd Graham, the former Tulsa coach.
Kenny's still hurting from that loss.
No, I picked it. I expected it. I wish it had been just a smidge closer. And but you know, my wide receiver for Detroit got some points for me. So am I still up?
Creston, do not stop checking the phone.
So no, so you say,
shit.
did he really catch
No,
one?
I'm just
Oh
fucking
God,
with you.
is the game over yet?
No. It's 2:36
Oh,
left.
Dallas still has the ball.
Chargers timed out.
Oh, they're getting ready to kick a field goal. It looks like maybe a little field goal.
Trying to save some time to get to the 2-minute warning for the Chargers to move down.
Gotcha.
Give Keenan Allen another touchdown.
It's 2nd and 10.
Oh, Prescott sacked.
Looks like they're going for the field goal. Is that what you're looking like?
It looks like a field goal. We're 3rd and 10 unless he can get.
Unless they might throw it here. So
let's just with that.
But no, I think OU. It shouldn't be a trap game. It's at home. The Kansas game's going to be tougher than anticipated, and we'll know a little bit more. But I mean, we've got to win this.
We have to win. We can't have a hangover.
But I want to see it because every year, Sean, Creston, you know as well as I do, OU comes out and we either almost lose or we do lose.
No, I think we're done
with
with that.
Cincinnati our game this year. Was Cincinnati our game this year? Maybe.
No, maybe
the trap game.
But here's the
20-6.
Well, remember that we messed up. Like we thought last week was trap games for the NFL, and those came this week.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But here's the deal. I think with our new coach, he has them fired up and ready to play. Venerables, he is the raw, get you fired up. He's in your face. I think that is
a good coach too.
Yes, yes.
And I think he looks like Colin.
It's gonna be something. I don't know. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be the greatest hire or whatever. It's just exactly what that program needed. Was him.
And it may be one of the better hires. It may be the greatest hire.
We don't know that until he wins 10 national titles.
I understand this.
10. He has to win 10.
Well, here's the deal with him, though, and as we close down, as far as what we've seen as coaches. I mean, coaching right now in colleges, you've got to love coaching in college football. You can't just love coaching. You've got to love coaching college football because the grind, and that's why we taught, Lincoln Riley, there's a lot of these hints about the NFL. I mean, I've made this prediction for a year ever since he went to USC that he's going to be in the NFL. I never would have thought he would have left Oklahoma, but once he did and left that easy,
I'm glad he left.
I am too now, but that he left that easy.
I was upset that we got him and you wasn't.
That he left that easy. I think that means he can leave that easy again, and I think the NFL's the next stop. But you've got to love.
But it's already said. Did you not see the article where he's
talked to Sean McVay, blah blah blah. He wants to retire by the time he's 50, blah blah. If I was a USC fan reading that, I'd be super fucking pissed because that's
you're
just
you're not invested in your team. You're just invested in the money that you're making.
Correct.
What are you doing?
I'm going to read you a few things as we close up about from
okay. Well, we got Creston
some USC deals, but let's talk a little bit about. Let's move on to the outdoor.
All right, everybody, it's time for Creston's. Creston's back, and he's got 2 weeks of fishing to get to us. So go ahead, Creston.
I suck.
Cool.
No, fished at Eufaula 2 weeks ago. After day one, we were in the check line. Day two comes around, we fall one place out of the money. We wind up in 11th place. Tough tournament.
It's just right there, just right outside.
Tough tournament. It didn't take but 27 pounds to win the tournament at Eufaula. They had the previous week, they had a professional tournament there. They had 2 different club trails. The weekend we show up to fish, they had the BFL regionals there. 160 boats fishing for 4 days before we get there. Pretty much just kind of ransacked the lake with all the pressure. And it didn't take but 27 pounds to win. And to get a check, you had to have just over 20 pounds.
Wow. And your wife had just been on vacation, so when she got home, she was not she's not in a punchy mode, so she didn't beat you for losing.
No.
Okay.
And then this weekend we fished at Grand. Day one, had a 5.5 pounder, got big bass check for day one, automatically knew we was getting a check. We were sitting in 4th place after day one. We just needed to go back out and catch virtually the same thing we did day one. And we went back out and the cold front moved through, wind switched to the north, rained off and on all day.
You got that Seattle weather you wanted.
The fish left though. It's too late in the season. See, I was wanting the cold front. I didn't want it. The water temperature dropped from 73 degrees, got cold. The next day, first Saturday, 73 degrees.
Would you say
60.
when that cold front goes through that you have to go deeper?
Yeah, the fish moved out deeper.
Yep.
Yeah, the water was 70.
That's just to let everybody know that who doesn't fish. That
Well, all they did was just pull out to the center of the guts and the pockets, and then after they get acclimated to the water after a day or two, they go right back up to where they were. But when the wind's blowing out of the north at 20, 30 miles an hour and gust up to 40, it rains off and on all day, cloudy, water temperature drops 5 degrees from one day to the next. The shad, what it is it doesn't affect the bass. What it affects is
the food.
The food moves away. Well, the bass are going to stay with the food.
Yeah.
Well, the shad...
Kenny clearly stays with the food if everybody can see that over there on the camera.
So we wound up 11th place this weekend, also one place out of the money, but we did get a big bass check, so...
Oh, you got good. So you got a check, and your wife did not hit you for coming home a loser in this game.
Yes.
This week. Good. And like I said, hey, you know what? I'm more than willing to quit my job if we can make enough money at it, but...
We're not going to make enough money at it. I suck. I used to think I could fish.
You can't believe like that. Look, I wake up and know that my day is going to be shit, so when something good happens, it's amazing to me. Don't be like, I suck. Just be like, man, see what the fuck happens.
No, right now I suck.
Yeah, I suck tonight. I played disc golf, and that's why I was late.
So you're playing disc golf instead of podcasting.
Yes, I'm sorry, everyone. That's why we're late. But we get to see Kenny's reaction to whether he wins or loses.
Yeah, we definitely don't need overtime here. That's all.
We definitely do need
to
overtime.
Go ahead and
We need overtime bad. I need you
for fantasy football. Don't use the sleeper app. I don't enjoy it. It's a gambling app. If you love to gamble, it's a great app. If you don't, just use it.
I've looked at the one for the Yahoo one, and
Yahoo.
Yeah, Yahoo.
Yahoo.
And it's way dumber. I thought Sleeper's pretty good. Yeah, it's Yahoo. And
Yahoo.
Yahoo.
Yeah.
Yahoo. We're in Oklahoma. Yahoo.
No, that's a Yahoo. That's a person.
Yahoo.
Yahoo is a call.
Oh, okay.
Yahoo is a person.
Maybe it is a person.
Can you please understand language in the South?
So, as we close up tonight, and we wait for another
perfect NFL season that'll never come.
No. But we're still on for our perfect OU season. I wanted to read...
Oh, yeah, college is great.
I wanted to read a few just tidbits of things that I...
Man, I thought he had read a book.
No. Well, there is a book here, but I'm only going to give you a few. But I want you to... This is from it's called We Are SC. I'm going to give them credit.
Oh, I think I might have read this.
Just a few tidbits. And this is a message board. Members pay to get on here and talk about football. And obviously, Sooner Scoop is our local one. Sooner Scoop's great. But this is
really a good name.
This is
Sooner Scooper.
It's just Scoop. Sooner Scoop.
Sooner Scooper's better.
So I'm just give you a few things.
Creston, what do you have coming up? Because he's taking.
Hold on. No, I mean
I go to to UFall. I go back to UFall in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Are you ready yet?
I'm ready. If you guys would shut up. Worse than Helton, Hackett, Kiffin, Tolner, Sark, and Smith. Who the fuck's Smith? Anyway, considering the talent we have, absolutely embarrassing. Hold on. Team preparation, F. O-line, F. Wide receivers, F. Too many drops. Special teams other than Branch, F. Caleb denied, F. Defense, B.
Branch is fucking amazing.
Would have had a great game if it wasn't for the 5 offensive turnovers and kick return. Coaches, Riley, F. Grinch, C. What an absolute shit show.
Okay, Dallas just won the game.
Have they? Did they?
By 3, and you guys won that. Yeah, they just intercepted Justin Herbert.
And is he kneeling? Well,
I would hope.
hallelujah. What a
Kenny's
fucking
got
win!
another win.
Woo!
Did I get a win too? The losers got wins.
We got playoff shots, baby.
Kenny and I are the biggest losers in our fantasy league right now, and we have wins. And I finally won with a guy scoring 0 points on the on my.
Oh my God!
Luckily the tight end.
You 120, Tina 119.56.
Was he closer than me? That's 4.44. What was he? What was me? Okay, so another one.
Yeah. Keep going with that because I read some of this stuff. I know what you're talking about.
Okay, 132.74, 131.82.
Oh, you got me be a little bit.
Yeah. I had the closest margin of victory.
All right, here we go.
I had the biggest margins of loss.
Well, good.
You had one of the biggest margins of victory last week, didn't you?
Well, yeah, but that's my team. 1 week, I mean, it's every
And
other
how
week.
did-
It's 160 or
How
100.
did Kenny beat Hannah? That's all I want to know. What happened to Hannah's team?
Hold on.
Was there bench points? Is that what
I didn't beat Hannah. I beat Hannah last week. I beat.
Yeah,
Sam
that's what I'm
this week.
saying. Last week you beat Hannah.
He's on a roll.
Brent Venables is 5-0, number 5 in the country.
I've been seeing a lot of
And
this.
then this guy responds,
I've been seeing a lot of this.
after we rated Caleb, Mario, Raleek, and Malachi, and saying that OU is actually in a better spot than us right now. Can't wait to hear Lincoln Riley's press conference now. He's good news. We'll end up over 500 at 6-5. The bad news is we'll end up at 6-5. Way to go, team. Let's see, what else do we have? We are less than 2 years away from 4-8 when the cupboards are bare. I mean, it is meltdown city. Suicide lines.
Remember,
ready.
Lincoln Riley was supposed to go to USC and recruit all of those huge California recruits and keep them at home. And what has happened? Those huge California recruits have gone to Oklahoma, Texas,
This guy was
Alabama.
This guy was pretty
Florida,
good. I'm gonna give
Georgia. They've gone out.
If we can get our phone line hooked up, we could call some of these USC fans that are having a meltdown.
I've got to.
When you take an ass kicking against your number one rival, you deserve all the criticisms. He sure knows how to spin it. He said, I've been attending this game in South Bend for a long time, and I wasn't psyched to hire him. But anyway, for those of you that want to become defense answers, his special team sucks also. 2 weeks in a row, they had a huge impact last field goal. He's talking about shit. Lincoln Riley's a video game type coach until he decides to toughen up to the physical challenge, and any team he coaches will struggle.
What's one of our bystanders?
He's going to wear a perpetual fat lip when he enters the Big Ten because those boys play with an edge you only dream about.
What's one of our bystanders' numbers, real quick?
Oh, I don't know.
Just tell me.
Put Zach's in. Ready?
I don't have Zach's. Hold on. Well, hold on. Let me get the desktop audio working. All right, desktop's on. And what is Zach's? What is Zach's?
Hold on.
4. Starts with a 4, doesn't it? It's 1-4.
You got 918 in there, right?
It's not 918. His number's a Pittsburgh number.
Oh, let's see. It is 412.
Yeah. Okay. 1412. Oh shit! I'm reading this off.
That's what I was gonna say. Let's not read that off.
Yeah, we shouldn't do that.
No, but they're having a meltdown too out there. Love it. Just gotta love it. We never saw it because we started to see it. We just wasn't.
If he would have been here one more year, we
Well,
would have
that's
seen
what I
it.
was getting ready to say.
Because his recruiting was ass.
Yeah.
His coaching
Can you
is
hear it?
ass.
Yes, I can hear it.
You can hear it.
Yeah,
Okay.
can you hear it?
Does he know that I'm calling?
Well, no.
Probably not.
Oh, it's Oklahoma number. I don't. He might be drunk. If I need to, he can recall this number. I can call it.
We're now testing our new phone line.
Yeah, we're testing our phone calling system.
Because now I think we're just going to start calling California people right now.
Oh, I can call some California people, but they're UCLA fans.
Oh, they have fans?
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet.
Of course, it's
Please.
not been set up. It would-
He's bored.
Just text him and tell him to call that number back. I should have given you that number a long time ago. Should have given you all that number, but I've been sitting on it.
All right. Anything else to
Should
close?
give me a laptop.
Anything else
too.
to close on?
Well, we're trying to get.
No, no one wants to hear this shit. We're testing our stuff. We're just playing around.
No, it's totally fine. I need to know if it records. We're only at 118.
Why not? But it's time to move
Move on. Is it time to move on?
Time to move
you know what?
on.
Question.
Good job, Dallas Cowboys. Your fans will
Question.
be pleased. It was a good win for Dallas. It was. They needed it.
What? Oh, this over Kellen Moore? Did you just? Oh, here it is. God, I forgot it rings to my phone too.
Call from
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Damn, I forgot how to do this. Are you
Hi,
there?
welcome to Sports Allegedly.
Zach.
Call from
He hung up.
No, okay, there's something weird because it's I gotta
Just call him.
It's probably easier to do that. When we get to the podcast, cut this shit off.
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet.
Sounds like when I
Please
try to
try your
call
call
him for
again
work.
later. Goodbye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was our test. We had to retest this later. All right, any closing thoughts, Creston, not Kenny?
Closing thoughts.
Yeah, what's your closing thoughts?
Can you cut some of that out? That's what I want you to close my closing
All right,
thoughts.
we're fine. Dude, we've gone way over. We're at 119.
Oh, I know, but nobody wants to. Thank you
My
for
my
thank you
closing.
for-
Oh no.
I said Creston. I didn't say you.
No,
No,
you
just
keep
let him
talking.
talk. Just go ahead.
No,
Just
I
go
was
ahead.
just saying,
Creston.
I don't want.
I don't have nothing to say anymore.
Go,
just
go.
let Kenny just
No,
go.
no, I wasn't even talking about closing thoughts. I was just saying that. Go, Creston, go. Closing thoughts.
I'm not cutting that out either.
Closing thought. Kenny, cute time. All the time.
Every time.
He picks his own narrative and agenda to talk about, and he decides what you can and can't use for your defense against him.
Well, you do remember that Brock Purdy early was all yak. You know, the yak yard. Even though
every other quarterback can throw
yeah.
I mean, you watch a quarterback throw the ball, and he throws it 5 yards, and they run for 60. That doesn't matter because it's not Purdy. Yes, Justin Fields does not have an arm and can't throw the ball, yet his QBR and pass rating is
he just can't throw to he just can't throw.
Yeah.
He's got a good deep ball, he just can't throw.
Yeah.
Accurately.
You just hear all the
What is this
Does
bullshittery.
he have time?
Yeah, he does.
No, we don't.
Dude.
No.
You need to
His
go
O-
back and watch. You
his
need to go
O-line
back
sucks.
and watch.
I've watched
His O-line does not suck.
They
He
don't.
takes too much time.
Let's see. We could go to some stats right
Oh,
there.
I've seen some stats. We have an O-line that ends up in the top 10. We have like 2-3 guys that end up in the top 10 of O-line.
Sean says the top 10 of O-line, he's got 2 of them. Okay,
I said
got
we
that
did.
down.
I don't know if we
Oh,
do anymore.
You mean like 5-7 years ago when he didn't play? Or?
No, I mean like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. He had that one good game that
Let's
he
say,
won.
so now,
No,
Sean,
I'm not even talking. This is before the Washington game.
Sean, it's okay. Don't
I
argue.
know.
Don't
I'm
argue.
walking right in.
Don't argue because
I just-
he'll throw a new.
I walked right in.
It's like, come on over, just walk on in.
shit.
I'll open the door for you.
And then
you'll hold it and then hit me in the
and then
ass
I'll
with it.
ball gag you where you can't say anything. I
Well,
mean,
I
seriously.
Then I'll
do.
kick you right on out and say thank you for coming. No,
Well,
are
you
you
tie
done?
us to a chair and just-
Are you done with your closing thoughts on me? Apparently,
I
What do you
just
got
asked
to
him his
say?
closing thoughts.
What's your closing thoughts?
My closing thoughts. As long as Kenny loses, this world is a better place.
Well, I've got a few closing thoughts myself.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You just talked for 30 minutes reading USC's? Yeah.
That took it like an hour to even do.
It's tough to read because it was so small, so I apologize. But if you can find somewhere that all those screenshots are on, and I'm sure OU fans are posting on Twitter, Facebook, find it because it's freaking hilarious. It's way too much to read, but I had a friend of mine.
I know, but I told you, I've seen those. I've seen them all popping up.
It's bad, though, because, I mean, they're pretty consistent about everything. We started to say kind of quietly.
At the end of
Kind of
his
quietly.
tenure. A year. What was it? A year after the Georgia game, or 2 years after the Georgia game?
This was just
No,
his last
we're talking about
second to last year.
They
They continually got softer.
after Jalen was gone, when he had Spencer Rattler. No,
just kidding.
just when he had Spencer Rattler.
You talk about generational quarterbacks. You all say is, I mean, how many did he waste?
Oh, he weighs a lot. He was supposed to get Vandenberger.
I mean,
Whatever
because
that-
Baker
Vandenbroek.
Mayfield will go down top 5. Well, right now he's probably top 5 college player of all time. Quarterback.
He didn't get Landry, did he?
No, that was
No. But
That's
he was,
what
was he off?
that's
the
what
coordinator
killed
with Landry.
That's what killed Josh Heupel was Landry Jones.
Oh, okay.
Literally was. And there was just no.
Because I remember Landry came in for Sam Bradford.
Correct, and played 4 years, and his stats will show you that he was a pretty good
Oh
quarterback.
no, we saw the text.
It's just that
He's
I
number
think
2 quarterback.
Yeah, I think
all
after
time,
that
3?
was it. Who was the kid that we thought was the greatest thing since sliced bread? That went
Trevor
to Trevor Knight. He's got his own podcast now. Then went
People
to
listen
A&M.
to him to do.
I'm
work.
sure he has more followers than we do, though.
He probably does. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he did play quarterback. Katy Perry
I know.
shouted out to him.
But you play band.
But-
You play trumpet.
Oh, good God! I mean, yes.
Why can't I get Katy Perry to shout me out? I stare at her windows all the time.
But yeah, she's different. Shouting out 911.
I go hang out in Mississippi.
No, final.
Katie, when you come back to Mississippi with that big old mom butt?
Final thoughts. I think this week, if college football is going to be pretty damn good, because I want to see what OU comes back with. I want to see if OSU streak is legit. Tulsa needs a rebound from a bad weather game. And what's the big game this week as far as
Penn State, Ohio
Penn
State.
State, Ohio State, and then Alabama, Tennessee.
Alabama, Tennessee.
So does
Tennessee's-
is it
Alabama
Penn,
hate
is it
week.
Penn State, Ohio State this week? Is it?
Penn State, Ohio State.
What game is that? Remind me. We just
Ohio
looked
State,
it up. I'm
11
sorry.
Ohio
a.m.
State, Penn State.
Was it at
And it was at Ohio
It's at Ohio
State.
at
State.
Ohio State?
Yeah. That's the game for
And then
taking.
Michigan has to go
You
to
picking that game on
Ohio
our picks?
State.
I
No,
assume.
Ohio State.
I gave you a list of what to pick,
Yeah.
and you wanted to take the the Tennessee hate week.
Yeah.
You want to take Tennessee?
If it's
Alabama.
close enough. But I mean, what are you feeling about that game?
But I took Penn
It's
State,
at
Ohio
Alabama.
State because it's a top 3 and 6.
Revenge game for Alabama, Tennessee.
Yeah,
I think Alabama wins.
and it's at Alabama.
That will hurt your Texas theory, though.
How
I'm
would that
just
hurt my
kidding.
Texas theory?
How would Alabama
Because Alabama
winning?
keep winning hurts that Texas being number 1 loss team not getting in the Final Four.
You know, Saban has won some really weird close games. That he
Got
should
200
win.
last
So
week,
3
I think.
3 points over Arkansas, 6
Yes.
points over A&M.
Yes.
Got it big, too, and then kind of, I mean...
It's not the blowouts that he has been.
Brock Brower's obviously out, tied in, but he's having that weird surgery where they do some kind of thing with your
Yeah.
high ankle. Tua had it. Said he could be back in 4 to 6
Well,
weeks.
Aaron Rodgers is already out throwing.
But he said 4 to 6 weeks for Brock Bowers. I was like, oh, gosh. I was thinking all this stuff's lining up for OU to make a run at the national
Yeah,
championship.
but you
but
gotta
I'm
have,
not convinced
you
that's
have
gonna
to
happen
have.
yet.
You can't do that. You
I'm not on that
you
bandwagon.
gotta have.
A water hopping on.
Kenny,
The boat is getting fuller,
Kenny,
but I'm not
you
there
gotta
yet.
have. You gotta have
I'm not there
backups. You
yet
gotta
either.
have. If one guy goes out, you've got to be able to have a guy come in who's just as good.
Brock
College especially. College, NFL.
That Brock Bowers.
It doesn't really work that way. But
Bowers. That's
in
Bowers,
Bowers.
not Browers. Sorry, Brock
but in
Bowers.
college
I think the
football,
Browers kid was Stand By Me, the Dead Body, right?
I think
Yeah, it was a Brower boy. But,
But
anyway,
but in college football,
little movie reference there.
in college
In
football,
closing.
the guy, if you have a guy go down, a wide receiver, quarterback, doesn't matter what it is, that guy coming up behind him just has to be just as good as the guy that went down.
There's going to be a 3-game series that we see.
Finally got that out.
Kansas, Oklahoma State, West Virginia. Those 3 games right there, and
No,
2
we're going to Kansas,
are on the road.
and I've got to help you.
2
work.
out of the 3 are on the road there. So that's going to be an interesting. That 3-game series is going to tell you a lot where OU goes as far as they continue to go.
Also-
I don't think BYU and Tennessee or TCU's at the end. I don't think that's going to be an issue by the time that goes.
My closing thoughts: is this our last week in the old lady's house?
Might
you
have
gotten-
one more.
Okay. Have
Yeah.
you got it ready yet, or
No,
is
not
it
even
close?
Not even close. But I'm free this week.
Like
I've got time.
I can't build a wall when there's just stuff stacked from the ceiling to the floor.
We'll get the new studio.
He has been free how many weeks?
No, last week was not a good week for me. Just not
Okay.
a good week.
We'll talk about that off air.
All right. Anything else?
Good.
I'm good.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Oh, I don't have everything ready.
See ya!
Oh, God. Oh.